Alexa, play lo-fi.
Lo-Fi by Dome Nose from Spotify.
Doom, doom. Okay, trade locker. Hello, hello. Hello. Welcome all. As we watch this dump, let's see. We need some more liquidity before we go up. There was a lot of buys that just entered around here. Sellers are still fighting, as you see on the yellow. We have a lot of sell value between 2680 and 2700. What's going to happen is the question. Will it continue? Will it keep fighting? Transparency. I like to show my charts so you guys can see the truth. See me win, see me lose. My intention is to hold this until the morning, so I'd use the low leverage. 3.01s. Stacked, of course. So if it dumps now, of course it will hurt. But as you can see, you see where my stop losses are. They're cascaded. It's reminded me to fix one. Where do I want to be? How much is this? 33. 30. Willing to lose 30. We may have to cut if it breaks that stop loss. Let's see if it respects VWAP. mark up some liquidation zones. Some key levels that we would need to break through. Key levels. Let's do it. Key levels. Oh, you see all this selling pressure? Well, first of all, hold on, I have to fix the clock. So as you see on the bottom, on the time zone, I need it to stay at 9 a.m. We're going to stay with market open, so we have true volume on the chart for the day and the day only. So right now on the right, which is the visual volume profile, we currently see the correct volume for the day from 9 a.m. until now. A lot of sell pressure right here. 2176. There's still buyers holding from 2124. There's still a lot of buyers holding from 2997. And then the rest is all sell volume. This is all sell volume. The buyers are now coming in now. If you pay attention to this, those two visual bars. I wish we had a DOM on Trade Locker. That's what they need. They need a DOM so you can actually see how many lots are coming in. And they should place them by lots. That would have been nice. Oh, you want the fib? Hold on 1 second. I'll switch over to... How's this, James? Whoa, hold on, let me... I'll make it a little thicker for you. Is that better? Did you draw your top fib at the bar or the wick? I drew it at the bar. I like drawing it at the bar. You ever have an entry? Let's say you had a pending order. You ever notice how your entries just happen to miss just by a little bit whenever you mark up by the wick? So I stopped marking up by the wick. I would always mark up by the candle due to that situation for me. Boom. Quick fix. I like to give myself a little more room for the stop loss, obviously. But just for your point's sake, yes, I evened it out because I am supposed to do bar to bar. Correct. So I drew mine bar right here to bar over here. So now we're just waiting, watching it play out, of course. Well, I understand. Thanks for clarifying. All the little details makes a big difference. No, it keeps me on my game as well because, as you know, traders aren't perfect. Sometimes, at times, you'll make mistakes or you'll have a day and you're not marking up to your best ability. So the little things do count, especially when it comes to stop losses as you start scaling your trades. These are 0.01s, so for me, I was just like, it's whatever. But we had a good week, guys. We did have a good week inside Kings Avenue. Shout out to Trade Locker, of course, as we do the session based off of Trade Locker. This week we did, 1,000 and change? No, I'm lying. Hold on, let me see. Doesn't want to break, huh? It's probably going to come down back to entry. Remember, guys, only use the leverage you can. Do not copy me if you do not have my balance. I'm able to scale because I have the balance to scale. Like, I can lose $100, $200, $300. Do not over leverage. If you have less than 250, you should be using 0.01 only. Close positions for the week. We did 1,482 for this week. $1,482 this week. Not bad, not bad, not bad. So what I'm trying to do is keep trading as simple as possible. The reason why we're not using HOK Orb today is one, I believe Orb worked this morning anyway, so hold on. What time is this? 9:40? So yes, technically this would have been our entry. This was my entry today. So you missed the initial drop at 9:30 because we usually wait until 10:30 for these two bars to be set. The green bar up top and the red bar on the bottom. After 10 o'clock, those two bars are permanent. So we missed this drop. I was able to catch it around here. Why did I catch it around here? Because of the previous day low. I let it retest off the previous day low. It had some drawback. I lost like $40, but I had two other entries still there. And it continued down. I was able to exit here. So it was an entry from here to here. That was my entry today. I missed all of this because I was waiting for this. I did not want to be greedy. I was able to enter on this candle and I exit about right here, and that's when I was able to tell you guys, all right, I'm done for the day if you're a part of our WAP channel. Most of us were done for today on this WAP channel. This was all based off of consumer sentiment and tariff news. So with that being said, now I'm expecting a recovery, which of course is not always set in stone. We're on the 5 minute, going back to the 30 so you can see the fibs. This to me is supposed to be somewhat of a swing if it locks in. I took it off Trade Locker so you don't have to see all of the drawdown. So let's see, what's our drawdown looking like? Probably $70 or so. $8, okay, no. See, I'm used to trading bigger 0.02s, 0.03s. But we're going to see what this market does. Hopefully 8 o'clock it shows us something different. But we have two key levels to break through before we see anything. So that is the burden that is among us. Where did my markups go? I definitely drew blue lines. Draw down -8. Just let it play out. The key is to not having emotion regardless. If it wants to tank, let it tank. We have our stop losses. I think we already had one taken out. Yes. One is already gone. There's only 2 entries left. See if it takes out the other one. I'm about transparency, guys. That's why I like this. When you zoom in and out, I know it changes the volume bar. Do you have some rules you follow? Yeah, so when I'm marking up, when I'm actually touching the chart, I try to stay 9 a.m. till current level. This is the current day's value. Sometimes I'm nosy, so I want to look back at other previous levels. So I'll zoom out, just looking at other things, seeing how this honored. Because the purple lines I drew a while ago. So look, we'll see how far back I drew. The purple lines I drew back a while ago. And it's funny how those lines were still, yeah, you see? Because those were horizontal lines. I started this line I started these purple lines in December. And one in October. So the fact that these lines were still honored in February should tell you something, basically. So the purple lines are higher time frames. The blue lines are 5-minute candles, 5-minute markups. As you can see here, the red line keeps changing. I'm sorry, because of the volume profile. I wanted to get off that purple line, please. Okay. So as you can see, the 2 purple lines been here since last year, basically. And it's still honored as key levels, consolidation levels. If we could break through these 2 levels, you know what time it is. But we still look like we're still in some spillover from the bearish day. I was hoping for a Feb recovery, which is still in play. I'm going to let the trade play out, of course, because to me, my mental wasn't short term for this. I can see this playing out by tomorrow afternoon since we're starting now. Hopefully it makes a move tonight. Usually around 8:30, 9-ish. Those are the 2 major nighttime, I notice, volume pumps. It's usually 8:30, 9 to 9:10. Oh no, these are just random horizontal bars. Not random. At the time, marking up back in October or December, I just happened to mark up key levels. I placed them last year. So for example, the blue lines I placed today, I usually leave my markups on the chart to see what I saw previously. Sometimes I'll dim the lines a little darker just so it's not interfering with anything. But most of the time I keep my markups on the chart. I'll remove the fibs, of course, because those are forever lines. But yeah, I'm not. So many traders are just scared to show a bad concept, a bad idea. But you only can tell until you let it play out. Here was our days. I'll show you our day today, since I know you guys like seeing live balances with this account. This is a new account. So this week we did 1,482. And I can't show today because the day ended already. But this week was 1,482. We did about 490 to 512 today. It was 700 at its high, but you know, my hand got a little itchy towards the end of the day. I thought I saw a good opportunity in a continued sell with high leverage. Wasn't going anywhere. Yeah, so I marked these up on the 5 minutes. When I mark up these were 5 minute markups. Most of the time I mark up on the 5 minute. Today, because I drew a fib level, you rather draw fib levels on higher time frames. Just so you can see the correct candle. Because remember, now it's one candle instead of multiple candles. I rather have one candle to base that major drop off. Because I rather do a fib off major drops like these than I rather do a fib retracement on major drops like these because usually the recovery is more accurate than if you were to just do something like this. You see this? This is like, oh, it's just staggering. What are you going to do? Drop this? Yes. This one right here, yes. But when it's looking staggering like that, I'm not going to draw a fib. The volume was already collected. So yeah. A continued end trend. Watch. Once it hits that stop loss, watch it return and take off. That should be its if you're into channels, regression channels, that should be its regression channel entry. Yep, right about at the stop loss. For those who are into channels and regression channels. I hate slow markets. It's like hit my stuff already so I could go on to the next trade and figure out what I would like to do next on something else. Meanwhile, let's look at gold. How about that? Let's take our mind off of this. Joe, how would you trade gold at night? That was a question for me earlier. What does gold look like? What did it do for the day? So a fresh markup from Joe. First thing we're going to do is that we're going to go check what Orb did today on gold. Let's see what HOK Orb did today on gold. Here we go. Don't mind the character. I just feel a little animated today. Today was an interesting day for me. So looking at gold, as you can see, gold works the orb session works on any pair basically. As long as your settings are correct, which your settings should look like this. Your orb total should be 5, 930 to 1030. That's it. Your market sessions, this is a little more complex. Make sure it shows New York. Your volume area is 70%. Most of this is default. I like to show the POC, and I like to show the Forex sessions. As a reminder, this is a gold fresh analysis as I just came here for those tuning in. I see we have a few more viewers. So I created a strategy based on 2 indicators, the opening range breakout and the market session volume profile, because that's what I look for during those times. It similarly followed did the opposite of NASDAQ today. In the beginning, it dropped with NASDAQ based off of market sentiment news, but it stayed in consolidation throughout the highs and lows of the opening range breakout. It never broke out either direction. It stayed within zone, it consolidated. So I usually say stayed within zone or consolidated. For this example, to stay on cue with definitions and terms, it stayed within the value area, which is this light shaded light blue. The value area is where most of the volume sticks. The POC, the skinny red line, is the point of control where the average volume is. You can basically think of it as a moving horizontal VWAP. So I have a few rules. One of my rules is if it stays between the two blue lines, play the high and the low. Sell the high, buy the low. So in this case, you would hopefully sell this, buy this, since it stayed within its area. NASDAQ today was the other example of a bearish breakout. See, look, it literally went back to entry, as I said, and now it's coming back. It's hilarious. Hold on, let's see. I'll check my phone real quick. Did it hit that stop loss is the question. We are still in the game, guys. Okay, 2 entries. You should be a little positive now. So, New York session for NASDAQ is sold. It started to stay within volume area, and then it broke out. It broke out. Possible retest. You could have entered here, and it continued down. Right? The bullish scenario was the opposite, just on the top. Those are the 3 laws that I have created, and I follow them, and it works 70-80% of the time in the most simplest way. I also started comparing other strategies with the HOK orb analysis, and I noticed it usually lands around the same area or the same style analysis anyway. What are you going to do? Look for a double bottom here? You're going to wait for a double bottom all the way here just to have an entry about here? That's why I like to use orb. So these dashed lines are important because that is the session high and the session low. The green line is the 9:30 to 10:30 high, and the red line is the 9:30 to 10:30 low. You can play off of these session highs and lows as well based upon how you use my HOK orb. See, now the volume's coming in. Let's return to our trade locker. So back to gold. Gold is still consolidating in its main area. It hasn't chosen direction yet, so now we have to find a high or a low to possibly enter. So with today's volume only, we need 9 a.m. All right. Today's volume. Yeah, the bulls are going to eventually take over around 8:30 tonight. I can already tell. It may be a gap fill first. Maybe we should just play it off of VWAP. I gotta check the orb real quick. So based upon the current volume of control, based upon the trade locker chart, the point of control red line is similar, not too many ticks away from VWAP. As I was saying on Trade Locker. What's going on, NASDAQ? Still playing games? Oh, we still have 3 entries. Okay. I thought it was only 2. See, I'm happy. Oh, because I entered all the way. I thought my stop loss was hit. Oh, interesting. You see, I'm just tripping, guys. I don't even know my own entries. What the fuck? I have a sell in here? So Trade Locker's been doing this to me lately where the softest touch will create some type of order. It just happened to work out in our favor this time. So I'm not too mad about it. We want to close this once it hits our stop loss. It kind of gave us a little bit of leverage. That's actually hilarious. An accident gave us some more breathing rooms. After it hits this stop loss, we're going to exit together. For liquidity purposes. Come on, you know you want to break through. Who's gonna get hit? Which one? $20.58, so $32 is gonna get hit. Wow. He's struggling there. Come on, I'll close you myself. I'm trying to prove a point to the students. Wait. Got you. In your orbs, you do 9:30, 7 p.m., and 3 a.m. Well, the sessions are automatically marked. That's the good part about. I'll agree about the accidental entries. Trade Locker needs to fix that. I wish they would add positive profit stop losses as a part. Yes, I know, right? Oh, or this trailing stop loss, which I still haven't mastered here. I have to manually trail it myself. Hit my stop loss. Wow. See, I get frustrated too because I want to move on to something else, but I need to get out of this because this was an accident. Before it gets too bad. I don't want to scrap it all together though because it's still a possibility right up to here. And it's really fighting this level. I'm surprised. If this candle sticks and turns into a green, we may have a possibility. I'm just going to cut. It's getting on my nerves now. Yes. Break. Drop. Hit this candle so we can go on to gold. Yes, you're right there. Come on, you spread. You filled your gap. It also did fill the gap, so this might be it. Wow. See, this is why sometimes you have to let the trade play out. If it happens to turn into a green candle and continues up because it did just fill the gap, that would be interesting. RS, whatever his name is in the group chat, experiences this all the time with us. Where it'll just wick right above our stop loss and continue. But we're going to see. That's the thing. You can never really truly predict the markets. You just give yourself better chances. Yes, hit my shit. Hit it. Oh my gosh, hit it. Murdered. Take me out, boy. So I can prove my point. Take me out. Meanwhile, back to gold as we seek an entry. Okay, it's coming. Gold is coming. No, I like swing trading, but I have a different perspective on swing trading, Mr. Fleur. So here's an example. Well, besides the example, I like to have day trades turn into swings. I like to have something that I already gave an analysis on, that's already in profit with the trailed stop loss, so that if it hits my stop loss, I'm already in profit. Even if it's not everything, I still kept 40% of that trade, or 20. When I turn a day trade into a swing trade, that's when I'll take my 70% profit stop loss and go back down to 20%, which is what I've been doing in the group if you're a part of my group. So do you do trading view for technical and trading stuff? Well, I noticed the Awanda chart. So here's an example. Right now, this is NDX. The NDX chart is completely different pricing. But if you use charts, for example, this is the Awanda NASDAQ chart. This has similar price structure to TradingView. So I could give you price action strategies off of this for TradeLocker. If you're using something else, I can use TradeOvate's price action, because here's an example. The current price right now is $25.97. But if you were trading with, for example, Top Step, you would be trading the CME. So your price would be $26.59. Hold on. $26.59. So $26.59 versus $25.97. That's a big price difference, which is why I was trying to explain in the WAP group, I have to give you guys different trades, or you guys just have to know the concept and mentally know it's about 200 points difference, 190 point difference. Because I trade Top Step. I trade TradeOvate. I use less risk. I try to keep the risk similar. So I'm above $2,000 now, for example. If you're trading a $50,000 combine, your stop loss is $2,000 to $3,000. You're trading $2,000 anyway. So you have the same amount of leverage in TradeLocker. So if you were to take the same concept but lower your leverage and not over leverage your trades, you can still participate in the trades that I give to TradeLocker, to NASDAQ, to what I use with my HOK orb. I'm talking to them to get community indicators onto TradeLocker so we can import this orb stuff into TradeLocker. But you cannot right now, you cannot download the indicators and upload them. So I have to jump back and forth just to see certain sessions. And also, this is a white chart, so I'd rather show it to you on here. Let's go back. I just have sometimes jump back and forth for a clearer chart, as I know my TradeLocker looks a little more crowded than others. So now I hit my stop loss. Okay, so we're still here. Let me just fix. So now we only have one trade open. Drawdown's not too crazy. Okay, -12, stop loss, double bottom. It's probably going to fulfill the double bottom. So back to your question, what's your take on swing trading? So let's say this were to go into profit. Once this is about right here, I'm moving my stop loss right above my entry. I'm not trying to secure anything big. I'm not trying to secure anything major, because this is a great opportunity on NASDAQ for our current administration. This would be a great recovery. The more you zoom out, you'll see how low, like we are really in a downtrend. So if this were to recover and actually continue, since, you know, this administration is all about the markets, that is a lot of, oh my God, give me the crosshair. That is a lot of, you see where I'm going. So if this swing were to actually play out, I would leave this trade. It's going to have its ups and downs. It's going to have liquidity. It's going to have to hit key levels. It's not going to stay just shoot up in one solid candlestick. It's going to have to consolidate first. So let the day trade turn into a swing. That's how I do it. I'm not going to sit there and just wait for a swing. Or what I also do is I have two accounts. If I feel, for example, Forex is great to swing trade. If you're doing Euro, USD, USD, JPY, GJ, those pairs are great to swing because if you leave a pair there sitting for a year, you'll definitely catch over 10,000 pips in one single direction, win or loss. I've seen it happen multiple times where someone would put in a 0.05 entry with $500 and delete the account and log in the next year just to see if they were liquidated or if they actually had something pop. But I'm not like that. I like something that's already in profit turning into a swing trade to secure more profits. If you were to rank the 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour orbs in terms of, I don't use the orb on anything besides the 5 minute. So if I go back to trading view, oh wow, sorry, I was on another screen. So let's go back to here. Okay, let's go back to trading. Let's go back to NAS. Okay. What the fuck? Thank you. So let's really take a look now. As you notice, as I go up, you're not going to see any more. So you're not going to see certain candles. I mean, certain markups. So as you can see, the orb isn't there anymore because it's only meant for the 5 minute. But what will stay is the value area and the sessions. That's it. When I'm trading on, because my trades are meant for today most of the time until I turn it into a swing. That's why I only trade on the 5 minute. I'll mark up certain levels on the 30 minute because if you trade supply and demand, if you trade smart money, if you trade ICT, you're looking for liquidation zones, you're looking for liquidation supply areas. Where's my square? So like you'll see some people do things like this because that's their zone, or based on certain candlesticks. So if you see a pair into the zone, I just don't like too much colors. I mentally would do that. I like to keep it simple, basic. Like this dotted line is too much for me right now. I actually like it skinny. But I have to make sure you guys are able to see it. So that is where we are. The cleaner for me, the better it is for me. I like my 5 minute. But when I do top-down analysis, yes, this is how I'll do my top-down analysis. I'll start at the 4 hour. Right? I'll start at the 4 hour. I'll look for key levels. So you're like, okay, this and this and this and this happened. I'm not worried about more than a week ago. But this is a key level wick. You can't see that yellow bar because of the fib. So let's remove the fib. Oh, I like. So there's multiple candles in this area. This would be a zone. So what do? I just do the average candle within these 4 candles, which also happens to be this top candle right here. So to me, this is a good zone. In my mind, yes, that's a good question, actually. So, no, I'm as real as it gets when it comes to the whole trading numbers. So this is what I tell everyone around me. Most of you are going to trade with 250 to 500 realistically. everybody that I seen most likely has 250 to 500. So what I tell you is this is how you're going to scale your account, starting with $100. If you have $100, you are not trading Nasdaq or S. You're either trading S&P 500 or you're trading Nasdaq minis on TradeLocker. Which we have to go back to TradeLocker because we should be getting stopped out soon completely. So tonight was a loss, even though today was a major win. Okay. In one trade at a time. So $100. You're trading minis. 0.10 on the minis is good enough. You'll scale the account fast, $10 to $15 at a time. You'll be surprised how fast 3.10s will turn to $10 each, and now you have $130. Now you can continue trading S&P. You'll continue trading Nasdaq minis. So when it comes to your, where is it? I miss inverted because if you use inverted margin, I'm so used to MT4. Everyone from the MT4 days, inverted margin, I would say you do not want to pass 500% margin. If it was inverted margin, when it comes to TradeLocker margin, I would say yes, 20-30%. Try not to pass 10-30%. So for me, I could trade a 0.05 max, like one. That's it. You'll see me start to scale. When I'm scaling, that's because my margin on the screen is telling me I am below that level. It's when I'm in drawdown that it starts to change. In that's when you have to do your little bit of damage control. But yes, do not pass, I'd say 20%, which is equivalent to my inverted 500% if you are from the MT4 days. Me, I just try to trade 2 to 3.01s max. That's my thing now. I don't care how big my balance is. As you can see, with 0.02s, 0.01s, we were able to do 1,400 this week. That is enough for me until I'm about $10,000 in. When I hit $10,000, that's when I'll scale to 0.05 on the NASDAQ. Stay within your lane. Your goal is to trade another day. You do not want one trade to take you out and now you can't trade anymore. The goal of trading, win or lose, is to be able to trade for tomorrow. So once again, TradeLocker, boom, $100. You're trading the minis. A week passes by, you only did $70 on $100. That is great. Trust me, that is great. You're scaling right now. Don't worry about the numbers yet. That's why I always share ticks. I don't like sharing how much dollars I made when I'm sharing the pictures. What else is there? Let's reset this chart so you can actually see what's going on. We are dying. Okay, just so this chart is centered. So you're about at $170. Now you can touch one NASDAQ, give it a try, risk $30 to $40 as your stop loss. Let's say you get lucky that trade. It's a good day. It's a day like today. So you made $100 with a 0.01. So now you have $270. Now you can start to play with 1 to 2 NASDAQs. So trades. 2.01s. That's it. And stay there. So I'm trying to learn your step by step. Let's say price action finally breaks the 1 hour high, which is the 1 minute. I'll either place a pending order. So boom. Let's say it breaks the 1 hour high. me see if I can draw it for you. Okay. Okay. You still with me, James? Give me a yes if you're watching right now. So, we're on the 5-minute chart. We're watching right now. Let's say we're not in a trade. We're not looking at HOK or because it's after hours. We're just looking at, we're here. We drew a 1 hour high. If this were to break, so if this were to break, I would need to see the retest because 9 out of 10 times is going to break back down a little bit. So I like to wait for that little bit, if you know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's never going to be perfectly on the line. It's either going to be a little bit above or a little bit below. I prefer the below. So most of the time I'll put the pending order. So let's do it live. Let's say my drawing is live price action. That's when I'll put the pending order. Oh, fucking can't. If you don't drag, I don't know, it's acting a little slow right now. Sorry, guys. Okay, so now you can either do a buy stop above while price is below, or if that drop didn't happen yet, you can put the buy order on the line or a little bit below the line because it always comes below the line. Liquidity stunts. Likes to take out people's stop losses on purpose. So now, like today, 2 orders came in on a pending order like this, where it touched the pending order and then it continued up. It came down, touched the pending order, it continued up. That is our goal when it comes to scaling. You want your pending orders to continue. So this would have been a buy. Now to see what I did already, let's come back to stay on topic. Why did I buy this? This was the low of our previous session. 2 or 3, 10, 15 minutes, 2 or 3, because we only have about 5 to 7 to let it happen. You know, that was an old naked Forex philosophy, is if your trade doesn't happen in 5 to 7 candles on the time frame of your time frame, it's time to reevaluate your strategy. That's for day trading. That's not for swing trades. So this one's more of an intraday swing, hopefully. I'm just going to let it sit there. It's either going to hit the stop loss or we're going to keep going. But I'll give you guys 2 more questions and then I'm wrapping it up. Any more questions before we wrap it up? I'll give it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, so you only use orb based on 9. Yes, so 9 a.m. to 5, I use the orb. If we're still within orb range, I'll use it throughout the night. Today, we're not in orb range. If you're looking at the orb, we are extremely below today's range. So the orb is now invalid for today's trades because it's only meant for the New York session from 9 a.m. to 5. It'll be valid for the next session It's just the next session is technically slow market, so that is up to you to let it dictate you. So yes, this will work on gold. If you're trading gold, this will work on gold in about 30 minutes to an hour. But for the rest of you, I will see you in the WAP. Thank you for your time.